In the previous part, we're able to see that most of the problems that businesses are facing in terms of cash crisis is really being caused by inability to balance the money that is coming in and what is going out. Today we're going to talk about maintaining a cash cushion. So you've prepared a cash flow projection which is realistic, and you've seen several months you'll not be able to meet your obligations. What are you supposed to do? The first thing is to contact your bank, and where you have a bank like UBA that already understand this language of cash flows, and more importantly, relationship managers who are able to troubleshoot your business and help you see the gaps in your cash flows, and you have shared very realistic projections, and if possible share some invoices that are pending, you're able to know the amount of money that you need to sustain your business all through. And there are a number of facilities that you can access in a bank. UBA is offering working capital loans. In working capital, we have a short-term loan that you'll be able to pay back after 120 days. And this is structured like an overdraft. And the beauty about an overdraft is the fact that you will be able to access the amount you need at a particular time and only pay interest for the amount of money that you have utilized. We can also give you a term loan, depending on how your business cash flows are coming in, that you pay a portion every month for a year. And the beauty about UBA is that we have extended this conversation of cash flow to a point that we have provided a temporary cushion through a temporary overdraft that can sort you immediately, that does not require security. As long as you have banked with UBA for a month, we can be able to set up a limit up to 2 million shillings that can sort any looming cash flow crisis. But better than term loans in this cash flow management conversation is for a business person to be able to plan the year and say that this is the credit line that I require from a bank to ensure that I am stress-free from cash flow. And this is the most important part of this conversation. So you have prepared your cash flow projection, and you have seen that there are 6 months in this year that my invoices will be pending and I will need money. I suggest that you walk to the bank immediately, and a bank like UBA will set for you a credit limit that you will access when that rainy day comes, so that you don't walk into a bank and you need the money yesterday. Most of the time it doesn't come. So when you have projected your cash flow well enough, you can come to UBA and tell them, my cash flow projections show me that I will have a crisis in month 7, 8 and 9. I will need this amount of money for my business to be sustainable. And that is a conversation that every business owner needs to understand, that you can go and set what we call credit lines with banks. Something else that you can do as an SME is to try to avoid payment of cash. There are a lot of trade payment instruments like LCs and guarantees and documentary handling, which are instruments that can be set up by UBA Bank and enable you to purchase raw material without paying cash, so that you can be able to match your cash inflows and the time when those instruments fall due. We have now taken the conversation of SMEs being in cash crisis further, and we have developed this amazing product that is able to sort cash flow crisis for those SMEs that come with urgency and they need cash now. So if you are that type of SME, temporary overdraft is the perfect product for you, because within 30 days we are able to give an SME up to 2 million shillings as long as they've been banking with UBA for 1 month and they have a bit of cash flows. The beauty about this product that we require less documentation, it's fast, and there is no security required. So what are the strategies that you can employ as a business person to ensure that you minimize the cash flow crisis and the number of times you rush to a bank to borrow to fix your cash flow? Number one, you ensure you try to get paid faster. There are a lot of businesses that are sitting with pending invoices. and the credit control or the management of and follow-up of these pending invoices is not being done thoroughly. And how do you ensure that you get paid faster? You can provide a form of discount or incentive for those who pay you earlier. You can say, if you pay your invoice earlier, you get a 5% discount. Remember, there is a tendency of debtors or your customers staying with your money a little longer. And how you can sort this out is also on the flip side. You apply carrot and stick theory. You reward, but you also penalize those who are paying you late. So the penalty is there really to ensure that it covers the costs that you have incurred as SME to keep your cash flows in order. Strategy number 2 is ensuring that your business has high inventory velocity. This is where you are able to collect money from your customers before you pay your suppliers. If you are able to negotiate your payment terms with your suppliers so that your payments fall due after your customers have paid you, then you have an easier time with cash flow. In the process of negotiating with your supplier, UBA offers you a product that guarantees your supplier that if their payment falls due in a particular date and you are not able to meet your obligation, then the bank will pay on your behalf. There are many ways that your cash flows can dry up, and in many instances it can be caused by the fact that as a business person you are too lenient with your customers. And we have talked about the aspect of ensuring that your customers have a small penalty for late payment. In the flip side, you can also ensure that your customers have credit facilities with a bank so that immediately your invoices are out, they are able to pay you. And that's a conversation that UBA is willing to listen to. You can come to any of our 5 branches and say, I have these suppliers we have done business with. They are willing to set up credit lines with your bank so that you don't have a lot of waiting time to be paid. You can also bring your invoices to UBA Bank so that we discount them. We also offer invoice discounting. So you have these pending invoices and the payment has not yet come through. UBA Bank is able to give you money against your payment invoices. But it will be wrong for me to wind up this part without saying that most of the times when we face cash crisis in SMEs, it's because we don't manage our expenses very well. You find an SME has gotten a large invoice payment and they immediately move into large expenditure and unplanned spontaneous expenses. So one of the ways to reduce cash flow crisis is ensuring that you manage your expenses very well and avoid unplanned expenditures, personal withdrawals by business owners, and ensure that you manage your finances very well. As we continue this conversation about SMEs and different products that UBA can offer, in the next part, we're going to dive deeper into the trade opportunities that UBA Bank has. If you haven't watched the previous parts, make sure you do so by clicking here.